And this evening I'm going to be doing some of the diamond gem shapes using Xenia's Imaginative Color Book 2, her page with all her gems. And just want to show you that I am using my brand new Colorates that I just got. We'll be using Colorate number CO40 as my darkest color. And then as I get one a little bit lighter, I'm using CO27, and then I'm using CO18 and CO21, and the very lightest color that I have right now is CO28. And I'm going to start with that CO28 because I want to show where the light source is, so I'm going to show the lightest color first in a segment where I think the light's going to shine through. And I just want to go in the same direction. Put my lightest one in all the different places I think that light source needs to be. And you can always go back in a little bit and add a little bit more because you're going to be doing the same stroke with the colors and getting darker and darker as you go. You don't want to blend, you do want to show those strokes. And you're just going to keep adding color. Slowly but surely, you'll start filling in those gaps. You want to go in the direction of the lines that are already there. There's no rhyme or reason to the color that's added here other than your light source. So you want to make sure that you are keeping it light on the side you feel the light is coming in. And again, keeping those strokes coming in. You do not want to blend all of them. You can if you want to. If you're just needing to feel the blend the color. But in a sense, you want those strokes in there because you want to see the feel of the sunlight strokes, or the light that's actually hitting the gem. And you can pretty much choose any color. I chose blues this time because I've been just checking out all the different colors of gems. And you can see that this gem has this hard stroke around it. We're going to fix that in the end too. And as you can see, I'm getting a little bit darker, but I don't want to overpower my light source. And I'm just adding a little bit here and there, building up that shades of color. I chose the 5 different colors on this one. You can choose more or less depending on how you feel for the colors. Some of them can be more contrast, more drastic of a change. You can have, for instance, purples that have a little bit of pink or magenta in them. You don't need to stick strictly with all of the same color spectrum. And if you're doing a green gem, you might want to bring in some yellows. If you're doing red, you might want to bring in some oranges. Like I said, you're just filling in those gaps. You're not blending. If you do feel you need to blend, you can with a blender pencil or a medium that you feel comfortable with. But as you'll see when I get towards the end, I'll show you how I'm going to get it all to go together. Right now, you can see that I have some light sources coming in from all over. And now I'm going to my darkest color. Keeping away from that light source that I feel is more on this area, I'm bringing those dark colors in on the other side. And this is a wonderful piece to work with because it has different kinds of gems. As you can see, it has the different shapes. This one I thought was unique because you really don't see many that are at this angle. And a few little dark spots over on this other side here. Nothing dramatic, just a few here and there. Now, as you can see, I don't have all of it filled up, so I'm going to go back to my very lightest color because that's the one that I want to kind of use to blend a little bit. And blend some of those areas in. It's that light source. And no blender needed. Just use that lighter color pencil. Fill in those gaps everywhere that you have them. And you can see that has pretty good depth, pretty good structure there. Now, I am going to take my other medium, which is my Xenia. And I have tried several different white gel pens, but this one is my all-time favorite because it seems to like the texture of the coloring pencil and seems to let you lay that pencil down right over the top of it. And doesn't usually skip. And like I told you, I was going to blend all of this in because to me that black that you have there is taking away from the look of the gem. So I'm just softening up that gem using the white as a source to cover it up because we needed those hard lines to get started, but we don't need them anymore. And you can go back over this, but be careful. Gel pens do have a different consistency. You can actually scrape it off if you tried really hard. You don't really want to do that. Once it's dry, once it's wet, you can see that I'm going over it and you can tell that it will pick the pen ink back up with it, so be very gentle as you go across. You're just wanting to add a thin layer of white to cover over that, and I'm not covering all of it because in a sense it kind of shadows. That darker color behind it gives it a little bit of a shadow, which gives it depth. So now you've got a lightened gem, and as you can see, when you put it all together, you've got a look that, and you can even go in with this. If you feel that you need to add a little bit of white, you can add a little white here and there, just to bring out a little bit of highlights. And there you have it. That gem is all complete.